ain't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, the Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so today's video, we are going to be talking about Absolute Batman number 5. And this is the issue that I've been waiting for probably more than most issues, because in the previous issue got a little bit of a flashback showing us how Bruce Wayne upgraded himself over the years to become a better Batman, starting out being a lot closer to the original Earth Prime Batman, but also with some other mixes and nods and kind of Easter eggs to harken back to all the different eras of Batman, dating all the way back to his early Detective Comics days. But when we pick up this issue, we're back in the present and we're seeing the showdown between Black Mask and the Absolute Batman. And we knew that there was a deal that was cut. Batman, because he knew that Roman Sionis, aka Black Mask, was going after politicians, specifically going after Jim Gordon and Martha Wayne. And if for whatever reason this is your first video ever hearing anything word one about Absolute Batman, yes, you heard that name correctly. In this universe, Batman did not lose both of his parents. He only lost his father, Thomas Wayne. Martha Wayne is alive and well. And another thing that might sound weird too is that in this universe, Batman does not come from wealth. As a matter of fact, he seems to be just a normal, everyday, average. I would probably, if I had to put him in anything, we'd probably say like maybe middle class. Maybe middle class, family that he's a part of. He's not wealthy. He's not a playboy billionaire philanthropist. He doesn't have millions of billions of trillions of dollars and a company that he uses to hide the the tech that he has built specifically for himself so that he can go fight crime. He doesn't have all that. He doesn't have all those toys and bells and whistles. He has no money. This is a broke Batman. However, Roman Sionis offered something to Batman just a couple of issues prior. He offered him a ceasefire. The party animals were gonna still do their thing, but they weren't gonna be doing it precisely in the exact same way that they had been, and that Bruce would just stay the heck out of his way. Let Black Mask do what Black Mask does. And if Batman stayed out of the whole thing, Black Mask would give him $200 million. That's a lot of money. Nothing to sneeze at. And of course, for a broke Batman especially, you would think, okay, all right, cool. I originally joked that this is the Batman who bargains, because I mean, to be fair, he took the deal. In this instance, we learn, no, he actually is a Batman with principles. And he takes the money. He most certainly takes the money. Make no mistake, he takes the money. But something that comes up in this issue, and as soon as I saw it mentioned, my eyes lit up, almost as though they were bat signals themselves. I saw this line where they were talking about the Gotham Zoo was gonna light a memorial light. And I was like, oh, I wonder if it's gonna be a light that, the memorial light will just be the bat signal. Like, it's what the bat signal would have been if this were the Earth Prime continuity. And if you're wondering why would it be at a zoo, it's because that's where Thomas Wayne was murdered. But getting away from that, what I found of note is how Batman creates the absolute bat signal. And he does it in a way that is both a nod to the original bat signal, but in a lot of ways is also kind of a nod to the Dark Knight. Some of you may remember probably one of the most, I would say probably at least second or third most memed moments from the Dark Knight is the scene where the Joker lights the stack of money on fire. Batman does the exact same thing. Batman, when he's having a meeting with Black Mask to discuss whether or not he's going to throw in his lot with Black Mask or continue to stay out of his way, Batman reveals he's taken the money that Black Mask has given him and he has put it all on top of that Gotham Zoo floodlight, and he has lit it on fire to create what is, by Black Mask admission, the ugliest bat symbol he's ever seen. It's a lot of different layers, and I feel like this is kind of what a lot of Scott Snyder's Absolute Batman is. It's just a lot of commentary on the meta of Batman, like what fans think of Batman. You go back and read through all of the 4 previous issues, that's precisely what this is. And I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. Not against this by any stretch of the imagination. What I dig about this though is that even with all that bravado, even with everything that Batman does this issue, and for as badass as he is, and Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta allow him to be, that dude still gets his ass beat. I was like, God damn, he is getting served. And way worse than what some of you might think. I mean, he gets the brakes beat off of him. He gets the absolute brakes beat off of him. And he's also made things worse because now that he has basically let Black Mask know that he doesn't have any interest in working with him or, standing aside or, taking the money and running, he's let him know that he doesn't care about the money. He can't be bought. This is a Batman who cannot be bought. This is also a Batman who doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. And even Alfred has to say that in this issue. And I thought that was all pretty interesting stuff. I like that, when we're going through this issue, Alfred basically kind of has the Jim Gordon conversation with him from Batman Begins, only in a very succinct way and without having to have a Joker playing card pop up in his hands. Because basically what he's talking about is like, you just pushed Black Mask. Everything was already bad. Like, Black Mask is out here. He's got his party animals out here. They're running around killing people indiscriminately. Black Mask is basically a serial killer who is just doing it on a far greater scale. And yet, you just made him worse by standing up to him. Now, to be fair, I think that Alfred's going to eat his words a little bit later once, because I imagine absolute Batman is going to escalate things as well. He's probably thought ahead for these things. He's clearly thought ahead about a lot of other stuff. I thought that it was pretty interesting that Black Mask even had something to say, like a little bit of commentary about, and I take back what I said earlier. Absolute Batman is not all meta commentary about Batman and the fan base and how people feel about this, that, and the third, but it is also a bit of social commentary and economic, political commentary, if you will. And I love to see it. Right message, wrong messenger. When Black Mask is talking about how the fat cats, the 1%, how they're basically taking over everything. They've already won. They've already browbeat you into believing that you are in the place that you belong and that they're up on high where they belong, and that he just wants to shake things up, and he wants to put people in this position where he kind of likens it to the slaughtering of a pig. He says, if you hit a pig in just the right spot, you hit the pleasure center of the brain to where when they die, they actually don't die scared or sad or really even feeling any, not to say they don't feel pain. I'm sure they feel pain, but that when they die, they have a little bit of a smile on their face, that they affect what is almost like a chuckle or a giggle, because you hit that pleasure center of the brain and they die in like a fit of, ecstasy, so to speak. I'm paraphrasing here for him. That's what he's wanting to do with Gotham City. He's already said that the rich have already won. He said, now we just, go out on our own terms, more or less. He's saying a lot of wild shit here. But what I like is the fact that he's pointing to the fact that the 1% are the real enemy, not people like himself. And when we talk about escalation, it's not so much in the sense that new villains are popping up out of everywhere, at least not in terms of traditional Batman Rogues Gallery villains, though I could easily see where that might be the case. But the fact that while Jim and Martha, who in this universe, Jim, he's running for re-election as mayor, and Martha is helping him out. She's actually been operating as deputy mayor while he was injured and in the hospital. They realize that Black Mask has sent the party animals back out, and he has dropped weapon caches all over Gotham and is basically opening up membership to the party animals to everybody. And what I like about this is that for one, Jim and Martha find one of these things, and about as quick as they do, so do other people. It's about to be Purge anarchy, basically. It's like the Purge right now. It's absolute Batman the Purge. That's basically what this kind of feels like now. But I like that in all this, Martha and Gordon are kind of trapped in a situation where Batman isn't necessarily around right now to save him. Like everything that's going on right now, Batman did it to protect his mom. He did the ceasefire so that basically Black Mask wouldn't go after his mom, which to be fair, he didn't say that it was his mom, but that was basically what was gonna happen. He did all this for her, and now she's in a situation where I mean, he's gonna save her. Let's go ahead and be blunt about that. But she's in the situation where it's not obvious that he can save her because he took a massive dump truck full of L's from Black Mask in this issue. Like, beaten to a bloody pulp, and there is no Alfred in this universe who wants to help patch him up. You know, it's even said as much. Even though, yes, there is an Alfred Pennyworth right there in front of him, it's not the same Alfred. This is an Alfred who is like a super spy, secret assassin type dude. Like, this is Pennyworth. This isn't Alfred. This is Pennyworth is who we're talking to. Yeah, he doesn't have any interest in helping Batman, you know, sew up his multiple injuries. I mean, he literally got stabbed half to death. He got beaten half to death. He got thrown off of a building. He got hit with his own bat axe, of all things. And he fell down, careened down to the streets below, landed in a car, and then got blown up. But I do like the ray of hope that there is for some future relationships, you know, because once again, we were talking about escalation. We know that while Alfred and Batman don't seem to be on good terms right now because of how Batman has escalated the situation, Barbara Gordon, who has now met Batman, come face to face with him, had an opportunity to lay him down. She literally caught him at a moment of vulnerability where she could have ended it. She could have ended it right then and there. Apprehended. He was not, I mean, he probably would have fought back, but I mean, he was not in a position where fighting back was viable. And she didn't take him in. I don't know if that just automatically makes her Batgirl in this universe. So I am curious to see what an absolute Batgirl would look like, especially, let's also not address the elephant in the room, an absolute black Batgirl in this universe. Like, it's almost like we get the Leslie Grace that we were robbed of. Thanks, David Zaslav. Thanks for that. Yeah, totally thanks for that. But yeah, absolute Batman just continues to be impressive. As it stands right now, for me, the tier list was like absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Batman, absolute Superman. But I think that tier list is starting to shift. There's a little bit of a shift. There's a tectonic shift. And I think absolute Batman might be getting ready, like, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that.